look at you different. Can I talk for a minute? Yeah, I just wanna kick it. Fall in love, I need a parachute. One question, can I have you?
Hey everybody, welcome back to our channel. So today I'm going to be doing a video telling you guys my labor and delivery story. So as you can see, we've been gone for a little while and we're sorry that we haven't been posting, but it's because we just recently brought our baby girl into the world. I just gave birth a week ago actually, and it's just was the most craziest experience of my life, and I just want to share my story with you guys. So basically what happened was I was in my mom's house on a regular day, just hanging out, not expecting anything to happen because it wasn't really my time yet. My original day to give birth was actually March 17th and it was March 9th or 8th, I believe, and you know, I was just like hanging out. I didn't think anything of it, so I'm just there, you know, hanging out, whatever, and then I was ready to come home, so I got a ride home. And then I came upstairs, turned the TV on, I was just chilling, laid back, relaxing. And Lefty actually wasn't here. He was like outside in the store buying something. And then my sister-in-law came over, Eva, she just came over. She had just walked through the door and then boom, I just feel this weird like liquid come out. And I'm like, oh my god, I'm thinking that like peed on myself or something. So I'm like, let me just go to the bathroom, let me see what's up. I didn't think anything of it. So then I went to the bathroom and I saw that it was like a lot of liquid just coming out, like running down. And I'm like, oh my god, like I think this is my water just broke. And I just couldn't believe it because it was early, like I wasn't really ready to give birth yet. So I'm like, let me just calm down. So then I called my sister-in-law. I'm like, oh my god, come here, I think my water just broke. And then we all just started freaking out and I'm like, oh my god, Lefty's not even here. He was like outside. So then we had to call him, and then his mom called him and she was like, Kiara's water just broke. And then he was like, oh my god, he like ran upstairs, and then like he came inside and everybody was just like all over the place. We didn't know what to do. And then we was like, let's just go to the hospital, let's just get this going, let's just go. So then we packed up all my stuff and then I literally like walked to the hospital because I literally live like right across the street and whatever. So I'm just there, like I have all like the liquid all over my pants and I'm just there walking. I like literally feel like I just peed on myself. And it was so crazy, but it was just like, oh my god, like what I was thinking in my head, I'm like, I'm really about to have my baby like right now. Like it's so crazy, it was so surreal feeling. And I was like so nervous because of all the stories I heard of how bad it hurt and this and that. And I'm like, oh my god, so let's just like, let me just mentally prepare myself for this. So yeah, so then me and Lefty just started, you know, getting into the hospital, and then we just like let them know like, hey, my water just broke. So it was kind of like a little process. They had to like, you know, render me up into like the system or whatever. And I literally was just sitting there, like I didn't even know like what to do. I was just there like, and I didn't get no pain or anything because I didn't have like no contractions or nothing because my water broke. So then it was kind of like like it's not really supposed to happen that way. Like you're supposed to start feeling contractions first, but I really didn't feel like anything yet. So then I was just like there like patiently waiting, and I just didn't even feel like I was in labor because I was not getting like no pain. So then I had to just like, you know, they set me up into the room, you know, they told me to change my clothes. Like all my clothes like wet. It was like crazy. Like I literally just like had so much like water like all over my pants, and I had to like change it to like, the little robe thing. And then whatever, so I laid down on the bed and they started putting me on in these monitors and stuff, and just like preparing me for like, you know, the process of it. They had to like check my blood, check my temperature, all that stuff. They whatever, they check my thing and my blood pressure and all of that stuff. They had to like set me up, you know, get ready. And then after they did that, they actually sent me into a different room. So then they had to like move me to a different room, and they had like Lefty had to go and like open all the doors, and it was like this whole thing. Like it really felt so real at that moment that I really was like going into labor. And then so they put me into the other room, and then it was like a whole long process. I couldn't even use the bathroom, I couldn't even do anything, couldn't get up because, you know, my water broke, so anytime the baby could just like come out. So then like the time passed, and like a lot of nurses kept coming in and out, and you know, like checking me, checking my blood pressure. Like they just had to keep checking and making sure I was okay and stuff. And it's like the process is a lot longer for some reason when your water breaks first. I don't know why, but I wasn't getting like no contractions at all. So they literally had to induce my labor, which they had to give me like these little pills, and I had to just like keep them in my mouth, and literally it would just like make me have contractions. So like at one point I like didn't feel anything, and then like a couple seconds later I was like feeling the pain like OD, like it was like so bad, like it just came out of nowhere. And then I'm like, oh my god, like it was like I was freaking out because like, you know, I don't know what that felt like before, so it was like all new to me. I didn't know. So then I was like, oh my god, like I had to tell like to come hold my hand. I had to like squeeze his hand like every time, and I started like crying, and like it wasn't really, because I really wasn't expecting it to be like that painful, but it really was like super painful. And then like the contractions will come like every couple of minutes, and then like you would not even know, it would just come out of nowhere, and it would just start like, you feel that pain, like so much pressure. It literally feels like you're on your period, but like 10 times worse, like the period of cramps, but just like so bad that you can't even do anything about it. You really have to just wait for it to like go away on its own, and it takes forever. Like it feels like it's forever because of the pain is so bad that you just literally feel like you're there for like a whole hour just in pain, and then it goes away. So then it just kept coming back and forth in and out, and then every couple of minutes I would like have to see a nurse, and they would always be checking me over and over and over again, and it was just like the longest process. Literally, like it's so long because of the fact that, you know, they had to kind of like force my contractions. And then on top of that, they checked my my dilation to see like how much I'm dilating, which is like how big, you know, it like helps, you know, whatever. So then at first I literally was only dilated 0, like literally nothing. I was not dilating not 1 centimeter. And I'm like, oh my god, this is gonna take forever. Like I already know this was gonna be like the worst day, like of like, it's just like I know like the pain was gonna be bad, and I just already was preparing myself. I know it was gonna be there for like ever. So this was the first day, and the whole first day already just passed with nothing was even happening. I was just getting contractions and contractions, and I literally was not even dilating. Then they checked me again. I was dilating only 1 centimeter after like a whole couple hours passed, like so many hours passed, and I was only dilating 1. And I had to be 10. I had to be 10 in order to give birth. So it was like I already know it was gonna be like the worst like process ever. So then one of the nurses came in, and they was like, okay, well, you know, there is something that they could help you with the pain. So it wasn't exactly the epidural, was like a different thing, because in order to get the epidural I needed to be at least 5 centimeters, and I was only 1. So then they gave me this other thing that put me to sleep for like a couple hours, so I won't have to feel the pain. So then they put me to sleep, and then my mom actually came to stay with me because Lefty wanted to go change. He wanted to go get dressed and, you know, change up his clothes because he's been there like all night. And then my mom came to take over to like, you know, watch me and be there with me because I can't be there by myself. So I'm like, you know, let's just like, you know, alternate, let them like take their turns and you want to go change. So then while I was there with her, most of the time I was like sleeping. I like knocked out for like 2 hours, and then like I finally got out of the not epidural, but the other thing that put me to sleep, and then I was only dilating 30 centimeters, and I still wasn't even like not anywhere close to like giving birth. And then I was like, oh my god, this is too much. Like I really had so much contractions back to back, and I was really feeling that pain, like oh my god, like so bad that like I didn't know what to do. Like I was crying, and I was just like, I mean, it was just the worst pain. And then, you know, I kept asking them like, please just you know, like what can I do, like what can I do? They say there's nothing really you could do, you know, you just really have to wait to be dilating a certain amount of centimeters. And I'm like, okay, fine. So then I just kept dealing with the pain, and then finally they checked me, and I was enough centimeters to finally give me the epidural. And I'm like, oh my god, thank the Lord. I was like so happy. I was like, thank you God, like thank you. So then they put in, you know, they had to just like set it all up, and they put me the epidural. Then finally I started to feel numb and I wasn't feeling no pain. I started to feel so relaxed, like, because I wasn't even sleeping. Like the night before I couldn't even sleep because the pain was so bad. I couldn't even sleep. So then finally when they gave me the epidural, I'm like, all right, now I could finally take my rest. I could get my nap. I could really just like relax. I don't have to feel, I was not feeling no pain. I was so numb. So then a couple hours passed, and you know the epidural was on, so I didn't really have to worry about nothing. I was just relaxing, I was chilling. There was like people coming in and out to visit me, and I was looking crazy. I didn't even want nobody to come see me because it was just like so unexpected. So I didn't get to, you know, really fix my hair up or nothing. So I really was just looking so crazy. Like my whole labor experience, my hair was all messed up. I really didn't like do anything. So yeah, and then, you know, time was passing, and then another night passed, and it was already the nighttime. It was ready to we were ready to go to bed. My mom and Lefty was both sleeping with me in the room through the night. So then through the night, over and over, the nurses kept coming in and out, and they was like, you know, checking me, checking my blood pressure, doing the whole thing, because they really have to be on top of it, you know, because if my water broke or whatever, you know, there was like a whole complication. And then they was like making sure, you know, how many centimeters it was, and I was 6 centimeters like in the middle of the night. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning. I was finally 6 centimeters. I was getting closer and closer, and it was really the middle of the night. So I'm like, okay, I'm hopefully gonna have this baby the next day. I was already in labor for like, I don't even know how many hours, like a whole day and a night, overnight. I was already in labor for that long. So then, you know, they kept checking me, and then finally I was 7 centimeters. And it was like already close to like the morning. It was getting like, you know, closer and closer to the morning, and it started to get 7, 8 centimeters. And then right, it was like the crack of dawn. It was like already about to, the sun was about to come up, and it was like probably like 7 o'clock in the morning, and I was finally literally dilating 9 centimeters. And then that's when they was like, all right, we're gonna start preparing you. And I was like, oh my god, I started getting so nervous. Like literally I was about to like shit myself, like. And then I was like, oh my god, this is really happening. They're really gonna like, you know, start. So then it took like probably like 30 minutes because they had to get like the doctor ready, and they had to set up everything. And then I don't think she was like ready yet. She was like dealing with some other situation somewhere else. And then, I mean, they really knew that it was gonna happen because I was already 9 centimeters, so it was like already time. So then they was like, all right, we're gonna get ready for you to push. And I'm like, oh my god, like this is so real, like this is really happening. So then, you know, it was already that time. And then, you know, so they was like, all right, so they was setting me up, you know, put my legs up and everything. So I was like, oh my god, this is like so really happening. I was like so nervous. And on top of that, they had to take the epidural out because of the process. Like they said to push and everything, I don't have to have like no epidural, so it means I have to like really feel the pain like all the way. And I'm like, oh my god, this is really gonna be like so bad. But you know, my baby is almost here. She was so close. She was like right there. So I just was thinking about her the whole time, like, okay, this is it, like I'm gonna meet my baby. I'm gonna meet my baby girl for the first time, my princess. So like, okay, so I like grew some balls. I'm like, okay, let's do this. I was so freaking nervous, like, oh my god. So then there was like, all right, so they was just, you know, talking me through it. They was like, all right, so this is how it's gonna be. You really have to wait to feel a contraction before you even start pushing. So then I was like, what the, so I was like, damn, I thought I was gonna be able to just like go and just start pushing whatever. No, I had to wait to feel a contraction first, and when I feel a contraction, that's when I had to push. So I'm like, all right, whatever. So I was like crying. I was literally crying because the pain was so bad, and I'm like, I just want to push. I kept saying, I just want to push, I want to push, I just want to do, I want to get it over with. And they're like, no, you have to wait, whatever. So then all the doctors were surrounding. It was my mom and Lefty right next to each other, like right here next to me. Like my mom was here and Lefty was here, and then I would like hold both of their hands, and I was just like, okay, like every time I feel the pain, I would just like squeeze their hands so freaking hard. And I'm like, oh my god. So then finally I did the first push, and I was like, oh my god, that was so painful. And then it's like nothing is even coming out. Like I barely was even like, because this is my first time, so I really don't know what I'm doing. So then it's like, it's even like a longer process because of that. So then whatever, you know, I was pushing, and then I had to even change positions to like a different one because I couldn't even push right in the other position. I went to like 3 different positions. I'm like, oh my god. So then yeah, so then finally I found the right one that fit me. Like I felt more comfortable in that one position. So I'm like, alright, I'm gonna just stay right here and just push right here. So then I like to kept pushing, and girl, literally it took me 3 hours at the end. Finally, when I, you know, finally pushed, it was 3 hours long of me just pushing the process, of me just pushing. Like that's just crazy to me. Like I really took that long just to do that. So then finally, you know, while it was getting closer to that time, because the baby's head was crowning and she was coming out, you could really see the head coming out already. So right when that was happening, you know, they was letting me know like, okay, this is it, like you're really about to push, like the last pushes, you really have to put your all. So I was like, you know what, this, I'm gonna just go and just put my all into it and just push so hard. So then I finally like got that last push, and then Lefty was just like, oh my god, I can see your head, it's right there, it's right there. And I'm like, oh my god, like he was getting me so hyped, like I was getting so hyped. I'm like, yeah, she's right there already, so let me just get this going and just push all I could do. So then I finally got that last push, and finally the baby came out. And then it's crazy how real it is, like they really put the baby right on you. And I never thought that experience would be so surreal, like hearing it from other people, but actually experiencing yourself. It was just the most amazing thing. Like they really just put my baby like right here in my chest, and she wasn't even like barely crying, like she was so calm. And I just literally started tearing, bawling out, crying, because it was like so surreal. Like I'm really seeing my baby for the first time. She was really there, and I couldn't even believe it was so, like I thought I was dreaming. And I'm like, oh my god, like me and Lefty was just hugging. He was hugging me, he gave me a kiss, he gave the baby a kiss. Like it was just, everybody was like so emotional. My mom was like crying, and like the baby was just there, like she had her eyes like wide open. It was just like the most amazing feeling like in the world, like having her in my arms. And they really just left her there like in my arms for like probably like 30 minutes straight. Like I really just had the baby right there, and I didn't even want to let her go. Like she's just too cute. Like oh my god, like it was just the most amazing experience ever in my life. And I never thought that I was gonna like experience that. And then I really couldn't believe that I had the strength to really push her out, because I really thought that I was gonna have to go into like emergency C-section, because I thought she was gonna be like impossible for her to get out. So yeah, and then whatever, we was just there for a good while, you know. Now the baby was born, like all the docs was cleaning her, and it was like a whole thing. And I was just there, like I literally felt so dizzy, I couldn't even like see straight, because the pushing and all that took so much energy out of me. I'm like, I thought I was dying, literally I thought I was gonna like die. So then whatever, yeah, so then all of that happened, and then they cleaned up the baby, and you know, she was able to stay in the room with me, which was so amazing. I'm really happy about that. Like she really was, they really didn't take her nowhere, she stayed right there in the room with me. And then we just had all our family come visit, you know, right away. Everybody just kept coming in and out, like coming to see the baby. It was just so like an emotional thing. It was like so amazing, like to experience that, you know, for the first time, a first-time mom. And you know, I just really love that that I have my baby now, and I really like proud of myself that I like pushed through it, and I really like, you know, gave birth, and I really experienced the labor and everything. So you know, after that everything was good, you know, the baby was healthy, and I was so happy to just know that she was good and alive and born and like here into this world. So yeah, that really is the whole story. And oh, and altogether I was in labor for exactly like 30 hours. So that's how much my labor was, and it was just like the most craziest thing ever. But yeah, I'm just like really happy I was able to share that story with you guys, and I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you guys get some, you know, experience, you know, by listening to my experience. You guys could like already know like what to look forward to if you're, you know, having a baby or anything. So yeah, I'm just really glad you guys, you know, tuned into this video to, you know, hear my story. And thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys next video. Bye.
You different, you perfect, I look at you different. Can I talk for a minute? Yeah, I just wanna kick it.